Okay, wow. I actually can't believe this day has come. Ever since I was a kid, my two favorite games were Minecraft and especially Pokemon. I mean, I love Pokemon. I grew up playing Minecraft on console, so whenever I would see videos on the Minecraft mod Pixelmon, I never had the chance to actually play it. I remember for like 2 years straight, I begged and begged for Pixelmon, saying it's the best game ever created, and I never even played it. But any cheap laptop I would get wouldn't be able to run Minecraft, let alone Pixelmon. Well, my brudas, that all changes today. In this video, I'm going to be playing Pixelmon for the very first time ever, and I will be spending 100 days on the Pokesmash server. I've had this planned out for a really long time, actually, and I finally get the chance to play my childhood dream. Before we begin our actual journey, I just want to say that 100 days is 33 hours in real life, so this video took me at least like 40 hours to record and edit. With that being said, if you actually do enjoy the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing, because this took a lot of time, like an insane amount of time to film. Moving on, in these 100 days, I actually do have a few goals in mind.
My main goal is to blow up and then act like I don't know nobody.
First of all, I want to learn how to play Pixelmon. This includes like learning how to make Pokeballs, all the different things you can find and craft in Pixelmon, and I honestly didn't know what else that would mean when I wrote down this goal, but you know, I just wanted to learn how to play the game, basically. I also want to catch at least 100 Pokemon and catch my favorite Pokemon of all time. I want to try and catch a legendary Pokemon, get a Pokemon to level 100, get access to Mega Evolution, learn how to breed Pokemon, and beat at least one player run gym. I actually wasn't able to complete this goal because the server I chose is pretty new. It was literally the day it came out that I started playing. I did decide to just make this one a goal for beating an NPC kid instead. Oh, and I at least want to do one battle against somebody else on the server. With these challenges in place, let us begin our adventure, my brudas. I joined the Pokesmash server and was faced with the decision of which server I'd like to play on for the next 100 days. The new addition was the Mew server, so that's when I joined. I could already tell this was going to be great because whenever I joined, I was number 69 on the server. Nice. If anybody does want to play alongside me, just join the Mew server, and if you see me online, definitely say hello. That'd be pretty cool. Upon joining the server, I had to make the most difficult decision I've ever made in a Pokemon game, ever. Picking between all 8 generations of starters. Should I pick Charizard because he can fly and he has 2 megas? Should I pick Turtwig because he's my boy? Should I pick Piplup because it's a Pengu? Should I pick Intelia? No, I shouldn't. Anyways, I ultimately decided on Mudkip. He does have a Mega Evolution, has great typing, and plus, who doesn't like Mudkip? Come on. So here I was, my first day on the server and Pixelmon period. At the time, I didn't know many of the server's features, but I'll give a quick rundown for you. Just skip like 30 seconds in the video if you're not planning on playing in the server. The Pokesmash server has a lot of cool features that made me pick it to play on, like a GTS where you can buy and sell goods with a player-run economy, Poke Hunts, which is basically a thing where the server will give you like 4 different Pokemon to find and catch, and if you catch them before anybody else does, you get rewards like money and balls and stuff. There's even a war zone where you can battle other players, and if you beat them, you get to steal one of their Pokemon. But if they beat you, they could steal one of your Pokemon. In the war zone, a lot more legendaries, and a lot more shinies, and a lot more shadow Pokemon spawn, which that was the next thing. In this server, they actually have their own rare custom textures, like Galaxy and Shadow Pokemon. That's pretty dope. Look, they're not paying me to say all this. I mean, they could if you want to pass me some free crate keys or something. I mean, that'd be cool. I mean, give me a YouTuber rank and like, I don't know. I mean, if you want to, hey, Cyrus, hit me up, bro. But anyways, the IP for the server is on the screen right now, and it's in the description as well if you want to copy and paste it and join it yourself. I'll also be leaving a link for the server owner's YouTube channel. His name is Cyrus, and his main content is actually Pixelmon. He makes really good videos on it, I think. I like his videos personally, so you should really go sub to him if you like Pixelmon. And that's pretty much it. Let's continue to day 1. Here we were, day 1. I was really confused. I didn't know exactly what I was supposed to do. I didn't really know how to get into the regular world and start my adventure yet. Anyways, I set on my starter and... Oh my gosh, it's shiny. Yeah, I saw that in a Cyrus video, he got a starter that was shiny, but I thought he just did that because he's the owner of the server. I was given a few items to help me start out, like balls and stuff like that, but I decided to only use the Pokeballs for now. I found this hiker man, and whenever I talked to him, he randomly teleported me on top of a mountain. Guess that's where we'll start. First thing I found was a Phanpy, let's go. I actually love Donphan, so I weakened it with my starter and I caught it. After capturing my first Pokemon, I found my first Iron and Coal. Iron, let's go. After that, I found that the Pixelmon had custom ores, like Sapphire. No, they had custom ores on Pixelmon, what? Another one. Ruby. And Amethyst, which didn't really make sense to me, but okay. What? I ran into a Drillbur who was itching his back, and he just died. I just watched him die for no reason. I dug my way out of this cave because I was done Minecrafting. I sneezed when I found this Thunderstone shard, and I found a guy who let me relearn moves, which was completely useless at this point. Thanks. Tried to kill him, but it wouldn't let me. I realized I didn't have the texture pack or the shaders that I installed literally just for this, so I tried to put them on, but my game crashed. And so did the whole server, apparently, because I couldn't join back. And decided to just continue day 1 later. On day 1, part 2, I guess you'd call it, I found a Master Ball on the ground, and it was a God Loot, and it gave me the TM for Earthquake, which is absolutely amazing. I went to a forest to pick some apricorns. And I fed Fampy some orangeberries. Which didn't matter because a level 29 Riolu decided to force palm it in the face. I found this man stuck in a block, so I broke it and freed him. He was level 80, so I just left him alone. Okay. I felt like I should have found a Poke Center by now, so I thought maybe they were disabled in the server, which, spoiler alert, they're not, but I asked in chat anyways. My inventory was getting really full and I needed a place to stay. I found a shrine that was used to spawn Celebi. This is Celebi. I marked it down, but unfortunately in the server, they're actually disabled because they're considered OP. It was now day 2, and I needed to find a Poke Center. But before I could do that, I fell into a hole. Thank God fall damage is disabled on this. When I fell down, I found a new ore. A little bit deeper in the cave, I found a Shuckle. I was pretty excited to see a Ghastly down here, so I used my second Pokeball ever on it, and caught it. That was easy.
No way, let's go.
Tried to see if my Ghastly could take on the Shuckle, but I'm gonna keep you here, okay, buddy? You're gonna stay here. I'm gonna murder you. I smelted up some iron because I had an idea. Made a bucket and I gathered some lava. And Pokemon don't take damage from lava. I mean, it makes sense, I guess. That would be annoying. Anyways, I had another idea on how to murder the Shuckle. I would suffocate it, just like that Drillbur earlier. Alright, buddy, your day has come. What? Bruh. But no matter how many times I tried, for some reason, it just kept popping out. I still have no idea how that works. I was going to make another iron pickaxe, but then I thought maybe the custom ores would make tools, and they do. I made myself a ruby pickaxe because that looks pretty nice. I like that. Even mine's pretty fast too, almost as fast as diamond. I exited the cave and I watched the sunrise for day 3. It had been 3 days. I was searching and searching through multiple biomes and I wasn't finding a Poke Center. I thought that I would need to make my own healer. I honestly started to give up hope. Until I found one. I finally found a Poke Center. This might not seem too bad to you, but for me it felt like forever. Because I was running around for like an hour with no usable Pokemon. I found the healer and finally I could heal my Pokemon back to full health. Also, there was another Poke Center just over my face, right? Anyways, I saw some particles moving in the grass and I encountered a level 25 Chikorita. Oh. It absolutely destroyed my team.
Yo, he's huge. He's so big. That's what she said.
I checked Pokeballs at it to see if I'd get lucky, and I fought this Mareep with my Fanfi. And I made an absolutely clutch play by using Flail on it while I was low HP. Okay. It gave me some wool, so if I got a little more, I could make a bed. I wanted to get out of the rain, and I saw this Drillbur just kind of vibing in my Poke Center. And I caught it in one Great Ball. That was really easy. Now that I had level 30 Pokemon, I could definitely take on this level 25 Chikorita.
Found it.
I started to damage it and it got a lucky critical hit and one-shot me. I tried again, I got it to red health, and I caught it in a Great Ball.
Oh my gosh, finally. That took forever.
This lady thought she could take refuge in my Poke Center? Be gone, wench! I went out to find more Mareep to get wool for a bed, and I found a Wooloo instead. It kept rolling away from me, but eventually I got the wool and I made my own bed. I smelled an ore I got called Bauxite, and I got aluminum from it. That's weird. Some repeat balls showed up in my inventory out of nowhere, and apparently after a certain amount of votes have been made for the server, people get dropped stuff. That's cool. I ended this night by selling some items I didn't need for money. With my new Drillbur, I beat up another Drillbur, and my Drillbur evolved. Wow, already. I didn't expect him to be so big since he's a mole Pokemon, but
so big.
In Pixelmon, every Pokemon has a different size. I could get one bigger than this. Now that it was day 5, and I needed to get started on making Pokeballs. I planted some yellow and black apricorns since that was what you needed for Ultra Balls. And I found a recipe for the Pixelmon Anvil, which you need to hammer out the Pokeballs.
What is that?
There was a level 93 trainer in the dark, dressed in all black,
scared
the crap out of me. And I tried to battle him, but obviously you know how that went. That night, the experience I gained from an Electabuzz made my
And my
Chikorita
cat is
evolve.
evolving.
Bayleaf was easily one of my favorite middle evolutions, and everything was pretty chill so far. Until... Wait a minute. I just saw... No way. I just saw Legendary. Yeah, that's right.
Oh my god.
On my 5th day of Pixelmon, the legendary Thundurus spawned right on me. I only had 3 Ultra Balls, and there was
Get in the
no way I
ball.
could weaken it with the Pokemon I have now. I tried to battle it to make it a
Faster
little
than
easier to
that?
catch,
Wait,
but it was
oh.
level 70 and destroyed my entire team. I started gathering dirt because I had formulated a
What else
plan
am I gonna
B.
do?
I kept battling it and throwing as many Pokeballs as I
man.
could. This continued into day 6. I knew there was no way I could catch it right now, so I started to try and box it in, but every time I tried, it just bounced up in the air and escaped me. Oh my god!
Doesn't look nice, this guy. I don't like this guy at all.
Eventually, it actually fell into my trap.
Where's
It only took like
what?
2 whole days.
No.
Unfortunately, it glitched into the ground and I had to dig it out.
No. No, stop.
So even if I did get it trapped, it would eventually kill itself by just
Stop it. Get some
headbutting
help.
itself into
Oh
the
my
dirt.
God. He's just gonna die if I do that. Okay, great.
I fought it again, used all my Great Balls, some of my Pokeballs, and I knew there was no way I could catch it. With only a few Pokeballs left, I went to the chat and I announced that I had a Thundurus on me. There was no way I could catch it, and I knew there had to be at least one person in the server that had a level 70 or even a Master Ball to catch this thing. I looked around at all the holes and all the pillars I made trying to capture that thing. All for what? It felt like everyone in the server was asking to teleport to me, but that's actually just cause this one guy kept spamming me. I let him teleport to me, and he whipped out a legendary and caught it in a Master Ball. I felt
You have
so
a Master-
powerless. On the bright side, I didn't notice this at the time, but he sent me a Chimchar, so that was nice. Spent most of that night taking down all the pillars and covering the holes I made, fixing the mess I created. I healed my Pokemon up to full health, and I watched the sunrise for day 8. This was definitely a sad day, but I got off the server and I looked forward to the next one. I got back on day 8, and I started off like I do every day. I harvested my apricorns, and in my backyard, there was a Pikachu. I assumed it was probably pretty rare, so I weakened it with my Bayleaf and I caught it. It was time for me to finally learn how to make Pokeballs. I've only really seen videos of Pixelmon, so I assumed you need aluminum for Pokeball bottoms. Decided it'd be a great idea to hammer in the aluminum with the aluminum. And I ended up making a hammer so I could actually hammer it. An iron hammer, these things take absolutely ages to hammer out. This is like 10 times speed, I swear. When I saw it didn't work, I looked it up and you only need iron to make iron discs. I hammered those out and it took basically the rest of the day. I did some more research and I started to smelt my apricorns. After a few of them were smelted, I made my first Ultra Ball. Well, after a little bit of trial and error at least. I made a bunch more. By the end of that night, I was able to make 24 Ultra Balls. That was pretty good. Started day 9, I looked at my inventory and realized that I gathered enough to make a PC. I didn't know the crafting recipe for a PC, but I knew you needed glowstone, and gathered the materials I needed for it, and I crafted myself a PC, finally. I tried to dye it white because one time I saw a blue one, and it didn't work. I took my PC and I placed it in the spot where there probably was one before somebody stole it. I opened it up to a shiny Chimchar. Like I said, back then I didn't realize that guy had gifted me one, but for now, since I didn't know where it came from, I just kept it in the PC. On the server, they have a Wonder Trade feature. I Wonder Traded my Galarian Zigzagoon away, and I got a Spoink. Yay. And I couldn't even trade it back because there's a cooldown on it. Yay. At the start of day 10, I found a really small and really high level Ponyta. I sent my X-Control at it, and I used a super effective move, Rock Slide, on it. If it couldn't survive this, it didn't deserve to be on the team. And it did, so I caught it. It was already day 10, and I realized I hadn't named any of my Pokemon. I named my Excadrill Holy Moly, my Mudkip Skips, and I named my Bayleaf Beganium, since it's absolutely huge. I saw a P-Up, which reminded me that you can ride Pokemon. So if I get a flying Pokemon that I can ride, I can get around way faster. Wonder traded my Spoink away, and I got a Snom.
Oh, Snom.
I got my P-Up to level 18, but it doesn't evolve until level 21. Traded away a Ratstaff for a Trapinch. That's nice. I continued to train my birdie in the rain, and hammered out some more Pokeballs in between. On the night of day 11, I was leveling up my P-Dove, and my Mudkip evolved.
My boy, finally.
Finally, it evolved into a Marshtomp. Let's go, look at him. Look at that boy. Hell yeah. I renamed my Ponyta and make 16 more Ultra Balls. I had 39 now. Just definitely feeling confident. After a little bit more training, my P-Dove finally evolved.
There it goes.
I'm a bird.
Let's finally go. Let's go. But as I feared, I would have to evolve it into an Unpheasant before I could fly it. So goodbye, trash.
This guy's going in the box. Absolutely correct.
After that, I caught a Galarian Zigzagoon in hopes that I could wonder trade it for a Pokemon that can fly. And I got a Volibee. It was level 51. It was just about to evolve too. I just needed one rare candy before I could fly my very own Pokemon.
I'm gay.
Oh. I needed to level up to level 54 to evolve it, so I just gave it 2 more rare candies. It evolved, finally, into Mandibuzz. There she was, boys. And the Mandibuzz just happened to be from that same Frederick guy. I gathered supplies and got ready to venture out. I got in the back of my new Mandibuzz, and I took off. I found the Spinnerack, which was like,
Oh my gosh, this thing's huge.
the size of me. Caught it just because how big it is. I saw this Fungus just vibing.
Oh, yes, Daddy.
This level 4 police officer had a level 5 Arcanine. He was obviously cheating. I fell into a hole and I found this shrine that had a Master Ball loot in it. I picked it up and it had an Eviolite. If any of your Pokemon aren't evolved and you give it this, their defenses will be boosted by a lot. Found the Wintry area and a Magnemite, which I caught. And the tiniest, most adorable Swine Hub I have ever seen in my life. There was no way I couldn't catch this. Someone put seeds in the GTS for 2,000 Pokédollars.
Wow.
What a deal! Speaking of deal, I found the Spheal, and it was trapped under the ice, so I freed it by enslaving it. Meaning, I caught it. I went to a ravine just to resupply on rubies since my pickaxe was about to break. In the caves, I found a Tynamo, which evolves into one of my favorite Pokemon, so I caught it. When I tried to get fresh water to my Ponyta, I found out I can ride it. You're telling me this tiny thing I can ride, but I can't ride that bird? My, Tranquil?
That's awesome.
Okay. Without even looking for them, I found diamonds.
Really?
When I first mined them, I thought that they weren't diamonds, but yeah, they were. The texture pack just makes them look weird. Not long after, I found 2 more diamonds. And an Aron. This thing evolved into Aggron, so of course I caught it. When that ruby pickaxe broke, I made an amethyst one. And I dived into the lava just to see what's down there, but with these shaders I have on, I can actually see through the lava, and I found diamonds right away. I did collect these diamonds, but I wasn't gonna abuse this because it's kind of cheating. As I say that, I come out of lava and I found diamonds immediately. Found a level 46 Bronzong, and Mandibuzz easily took care of it. And right ahead, I found my first boss Pokemon, a boss Dugtrio. I of course sent out my strongest Pokemon first, Mandibuzz. Set up a nasty plot, and from then it would be a 3-hit KO on this thing. It got me down pretty low, but I was able to heal my health back with the potions I had. A few more Dark Pulses later, and I beat the Dugtrio. The boss dropped me a Destiny Knot, which is essential for breeding. I had to acknowledge that Mandibuzz was the strongest Pokemon on my team. I decided to name it Mango after my Mandibuzz in Sword and Shield. I dug myself up out of the caves, and I harassed this Beartic a little bit to see if he would attack me. Found a Master Ball loot that gave me a lucky egg. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
This would make leveling up so much easier for the rest of the 100 days. Day 16, this Pineco looked really nice in the light, so I had to make sure he wasn't a shiny. he offed himself because he knew he couldn't take me. On my way home, I found a Pikachu furry. I got away as fast as I could. I battled the Carbink, and when I beat it, it gave me Crystal. Seeing that they dropped Crystal, I slaughtered their entire population. I finally ran into a Poke Center, and I healed up my Pokemon. When I looked into the chest, I could tell somebody was obviously living here. It reminded me I needed to claim my chest at home. I looked outside, and there they were. There were 2 people. I dropped this rainbow guy some crystals since I had plenty from the slaughter of day 15. Found some moonguts. That's pretty sus. And this thing did not want to get caught. It just kept healing itself, so I ended up accidentally killing it with Mango. I ravaged the village and I took their vending machine. Found this Pokemon I forgot even existed, and I got it. Found another Amoonguss that was pretty tiny, and it was level 50, so this was an upgrade. This one was really easy to catch, actually. Next, I found a Togekiss flying above the trees. Chased it down, and I caught it in an Ultra Ball. My screen kinda glitched out here and it freaked me out, but this just happens sometimes. At the beginning of day 18, I caught a Slowpoke. And I finally returned home. As I wrote down my notes, I watched the sunset. I found a Lycanroc, which was its dusk form, which is only found in like certain times of the day. I think it's pretty rare. So I caught it. It wasn't even hard to catch, actually. Look at all the things I caught on my trip. Look at that. I put some stuff in my chest, and I claimed my area, so that nobody could steal my things. I got off right after this just to play Valorant with the boys and watch Star Wars The Clone Wars. That show slaps. You need to watch it. Anyways, on to day 19. On day 19, I went to spawn. I wanted to find out everything I could about the server. I found this crate area, and I already had some vote crates, so I opened those. I got a random Pokemon, some balls, more balls, and just a bunch of balls. Then a vote party happened, and I got a park ball.
What? Wait a minute, is that just... Wait.
Yeah, I got a park ball, which is basically just a master ball. This was one of the luckiest drops I've ever gotten. I typed in chat /smash me, nice. And I was given this menu where it shows me a bunch of things about the server. I found a warp to a boss tower where you can fight bosses. I fought this lady named Miss Evie, who you can fight every day for rare candies for free. At the end of the day, I did a random TP and I gathered some of this nice dark oak wood. Found an area right underneath spawn, which was used just to train Pokemon. I saw this in a Sired video, but I forgot it existed, and I didn't know where it was. I went home to store my stuff, but the chest felt a little bit cramped. So basically I made a wall of chests, so I'd never have to deal with that again. While I was offline, I did some research on all the different type of Pokeballs I can make. None of them really interested me besides Quick Balls. For these I needed to plant blue and yellow apricorns, so I planted some blue ones outside. From a Wonder Trade I got an Altaria. Very nice. I tested out flying it to see if it was better than Mango, but it wasn't, so I just put it back in PC. When I reviewed the footage and saw that Chimchar was given to me, I decided I was going to use it, and I wanted it on my team. I'd never used a Chimchar before, so I was really excited to. I named it Jerry after a friend of mine. I'll put a link in the description to his channel. On the beginning of day 21, I saw that a tournament had started, so I joined it. I went to the place that people told me to go to for the tournament, but I was severely confused. I never joined the tournament, I just went to the place where people were fighting for it. I gave up on that and I went to the EV training area to train Jerry up in speed and attack. I battled these level 1 Cinderaces until Jerry's speed was maxed out. When Jerry hit level 14, he already was evolving. I never actually knew that Chimchar evolved this early. Steve showed up,
I like turtles.
and we watched my Chimchar evolve into a Monferno. And it learned Mach Punch, which is a pretty good move. This was pretty much how my keyboard and mouse sounded whenever I was fighting these things. There were people there trying to fight the Pokemon before me, but my fingers were too fast, and they couldn't compete. There was a wall showing off these EV reducing berries, which reminded me about skips. By using skips so much against like random things, I messed up its EVs so it didn't have the EVs in the correct spots. So I would need to reduce its EVs with berries before I could actually properly train it. Next, on day 22, I went to the power leveling area, where you could fight Pokemon that were on your level or higher to gain more experience. By the time I left, Jerry was already level 28. I did a random TP with the Psychermans, and I landed in a jungle. Got myself a Venipede. Started day 23, I found this Paris that was super red, so I thought it was a shiny first. I battled and saw it wasn't a shiny, but I caught it anyways, because I was really curious as to why it was so red. Found an Axew in the jungle. I weakened it a little bit, and I ended up catching it in a Dusk Ball. I found this fire monkey at the top of a tree. Unfortunately, I couldn't face him with my own because Jerry fainted. So instead, I used skips to weaken it and I caught it. I couldn't believe when I found a Scyther in the jungle. I tried to catch it, but holy moly crit it with Metal Claw. I killed it. I found a Pinsir right after that, and I like Pinsir, so that's okay. The Pinsir I actually did manage to catch. I was really into exploring Pixelmon, I'm not gonna lie. I just explored this whole day and didn't really get anything done. Somebody caught a Tapu Bulu and the chat went crazy. Also, for some reason this kid kept harassing me and wanted me to TP to him, so I was nice and I just did. He just wanted me to look at a surf fetch he found. Great. I went home and did Apricorn stuff and I called it a night. Day 25, what a milestone. I wanted to do something more productive today towards my goal. I found another furry next to home base and I had to take her out. Mango had a great furry feast this day. I hammered some aluminum plates and made another PC that I could carry around with me. Whenever I made it though, I got a Porygon leg, which you can use this if you get 4 parts of Porygon, you can craft it. Today I was on a trip to find a desert, because a desert spawns a lot of Pokemon I like, and one of my goals is to capture my favorite Pokemon, so that'll help towards my goals. I passed by a birch forest, and this happened. Oh my god, it actually is a shiny. I found a shiny Teddiursa. A shiny. That is 1 in 8,000 odds in a regular Pokemon game, and I looked it up, and 1 in 14,000 in Pixelmon is what it is. That's insane! Not long after, I caught a Blipbug, and it completed a Poke Hunt for me, for which I got 14 rare candies and $1,200. I found a Rowlet, which is a starter in the trees, and I caught it. Still exploring day 26, and of course, it was still raining. I pillaged the village and took their books, and I found an Absol on a nearby mountain, which I caught in like 2 balls. I found a Malwile on this mountain as well, and I caught it. Then I found a Toxtricity and caught that. Pillaged another village and found Viagra. And another tournament had started in the chat. And I hoped I would do it correctly this time. The first set of Pokemon I got were kind of doo-doo, so I did /reroll to get a new team, which was also not the best. I put down my PC because my team was definitely way better than this team, so I wanted to use that instead. At the time I thought it was actually an option, but you'll find out in a second. Anyways, the first round of the tournament began against Mogab. Shout out to that boy. Oh no. First Pokemon he sent out was level 50 and it was Loudred. It actually didn't do much damage to me, so I was able to get more Mach Punches off on it. And get it down to about 33% health. Jerry fainted and I sent out Mango, thinking it's definitely faster, he can set up, and then I can kill it in one shot if it needs to, no matter what. He switched out on my Dark Pulse with a Shell Gun and it did 50%. The next one did less, which made it just survive on like 1 HP. I saw that it did absolutely no damage to me, so I set up with some nasty plots just to make Mango stronger and be able to sweep his whole team. I think he definitely did the right thing here by switching out into his Delcatty, but by this point it was too late. Set up another nasty plot, and another, and he tried to use Fake Out on turn 3. No. Just 1 Dark Pulse I needed to use to one-shot the Delcatty. Next out was an Axew. I think I know how this fight's gonna go. He sent out a Hitmontop, which I had Gust for super effective damage. Phantom, which I easily took out, and I won the battle. GG's, Mogab. So, I wondered why my round didn't count as a win, and turns out that you're supposed to use the Pokemon they give you, and you're not allowed to switch them out for anything else. I thought it was just a choice for people who don't have Pokemon yet, but anyways, day 28, I found out I could ride on my Amoonguss, pretty sus once again, and it was really fast. I went back home just to store some stuff and empty my inventory. I placed down more vending machines, of course, and I let this man randomly teleport me again. I thought it would be a better idea to just ask for a desert from somebody in the chat, and somebody actually had one. By day 29, they let me teleport to them, and I was already in the desert. Thanks, Lofu. And now I was in a desert. Okay. Found a Fennekin, which I fought for a very, very long time, trying to catch. Wouldn't get in the freaking ball. I took out the Pokemon from the tournament thinking that I owned them now, but yeah, they don't allow you to keep them. So now that we're just running around wild with my name above their head, but not mine. I did finally catch the Fennekin when it was paralyzed. I found a Larvesta, which, duh, I caught that. I found this ruined temple thing in the middle of the desert, and I flew up to the top, and some guy battled me with really high level Pokemon. Even being double Holy Moly's level, because the guy only had rock and steel types, he was able to clutch it out. Little did I know, this was actually a gym. I didn't know this, even when the guy used Dynamax, which I didn't notice at the time. Anyways, he beat me, he destroyed me. I went to the nearest Poke Center to heal, and got some more Viagra. Healed up my boys, and these Pokemon were still haunting me. Then I spotted it, my favorite Pokemon of all time. No, not the Gibble, the Sandshrew. Ever since I played Blue version, it's been my favorite Pokemon, and I was so happy that I found one. I battled it, and I caught it in a luxury ball. Very fancy. Let's go, baby. I then accidentally killed the Gibble. Me and the stowaway Pokemon held a funeral for the fallen Gibble. May he rest in peace. Moving on, I found another one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. Sandile. I love Sandile. And the fact that it was actually good made me want to use it on my team. I also caught this in Luxury Ball. Very fancy. Look at these two ground type boys. Oh, I can't wait to use Sandile. I took a look at Sandile and had the ability Moxie. That's a really good ability. Every time you knock out a Pokemon, it raises its attack for that battle. I found another Gibble, and I, of course, killed it. Again. Rest in peace. I healed my Pokemon, and that was day 29. Day 30, I continue exploring. I kept riding on a Amoonguss because he's so fast. Like, I don't understand why it's so fast. At this point, I had to name it Speedy. I was looking for Gibble, and I found one pretty quickly. This time, I was determined to not kill it, and I didn't. And I caught it in a Dusk Ball. 2 free diamonds from a blacksmith, okay. I continued through the desert, and I found the Mesa. No way. Yes, these tournament Pokemon were still haunting me. I found a Smeargle, and I critical hit it, so I didn't get to catch it. Then I found another one, and it just died. On top of a mountain, I found a Beldum. If you don't know, this thing evolves into Metagross, which is like just one of the coolest Pokemon by everybody's standards. Anyways, took me a very long time. I didn't have anything that could damage it because it was level 6. But eventually, with some sleep and it damaging itself with recoil from takedown, I was able to catch it with a Tyrant Ball. Found a TM for Psychic, that's pretty pog. And I found a Bagon, which also evolves into another really strong Pokemon, Salamence. I used Skips to lower it to a very scary amount of health, but that made me catch it in 1 ball. You see these guys right here? These are Salamence. This is what that guy evolves into. Back into the desert I went. Found a desert temple while flying on Mango. I mined down and didn't activate the pressure plate, but... desert, and I caught it. Easy. I went home and healed my Pokemon, and look at all the stuff I got while I was out. And all of the Pokemon I got. I caught more than half a box of Pokemon on that trip. I got a Bagon, a Beldum, and a Gibble, which are all great Pokemon. And of course, I got my boy Sandshrew. I sent out Teddy Ursa to get a better look at him, and I had to name such a special boy. My first shiny Pixelmon. The name I went with was Theo. I named him after a good friend of mine, Teddy Ohms. Up to his YouTube and look him up on Twitch. Teddy Ohms is my Bruda.
I put a whole bag of jelly beans up my ass.
After catching so many Pokemon, I was running low on Pokeballs, and making them was a pain, so I went to Poke Center and I bought a bunch. Bought some Quick Balls, which were actually cheaper than Ultra Balls. And I bought like 20 Ultra Balls. I bought the EV reducing berry that I was missing just so I could plant it and get more. I went home and finally planted all of my EV berries. Basically, I needed these for Skips because I ruined his EVs by fighting other Pokemon like I said earlier. Day 34. I found an Electabuzz inside my place, and these things dropped Glowstone and they dropped Thunderstone Shard, so I always killed them if I get a chance. I had a bunch of apricorns smelting, so I took them out. And I crafted an entire stack of Ultra Balls. Of course, before I could do that, there was a lot of hammering. Look at that, now I can make 64 Ultra Balls. Seeing that I was level 30, I made an enchanting table, and behind the Poke Center I dug out a hole, which also helped me get buttons to make Pokeballs. And there we go, 64 Ultra Balls. I kind of feel bad for buying those 20 now, I wasted a lot of money, but oh well. Took all my books, made bookshelves, and now I had a level 30 enchantment table. Boom, bam, bop, boom, bam, bop, boom, bam, bop. Level 30. I went to the boss tower on day 25. I had to deposit some of my homies because I wanted to beat these mons and get their loot. I didn't want to level up with them, so I took out the strongest things I had in my PC, and I started to fight some bosses. Speeding knew Toxic, so once I poisoned it, it only took me stalling it out and stalling out its healing moves for me to defeat it eventually. What it dropped was safety goggles. I saw people putting these on their heads, so I put them on mine. I have no idea what they do. I fought a Mega Sableye boss, but Mega Sableye has the ability Magic Bound, which means that any non-attacking move like Stealth Rock or Poison or Sleep or something will be passed back to the user instead. So I couldn't poison it and cheese it out. And the next time I tried it, somebody took it from me. But then there was a max level boss of the same type. I fought it, and what do you expect from a higher version of the same Pokemon that just clapped my cheeks? It clapped my cheeks again. Anyways, this Vaporeon boss gave me a Firestone, makes sense. Killed a few more bosses there, and Jerry learned close combat. I knew this meant it was going to evolve. Lego. My boy. I now had a majestic Infernape. I never really liked Infernape before this, but Pixelmon has made me really enjoy this Pokemon. I fought a max level Fable boss and got destroyed. So I looked through my boxes to find any strong Pokemon, and on my Absol, I found that it had Parasong, and I needed to test this out. I'll show you how it works. When you use the move Parasong, you have 3 turns before the user and the opponent both faint. So if this worked on boss Pokemon, there was no way I could not win if I got it off. And just like that, so easily, I beat a boss. It worked. I'm a genius. The guy dropped a Mega Stone for Gengar on the ground, and I was so hyped at the time. This guy Sprig, who I still know, he still plays in the server, he was just throwing it out because he had too many. At the time, I thought that these were rare, but they're actually not. They won't even sell for 1 coin on GTS because in the boss tower, a bunch of those Mega spawn, and people just get Mega Stones of those all the time. Anyways, I continued fighting bosses until day 37, when I returned home, and look at my loot. First of all, I got a Master Ball from a boat party. Now I basically had 2 Master Balls. I tested out the economy by selling some stuff on GTS. I sold a Reaper's Cloth, a vending machine, and a one-time Poke Heal. The only thing that sold out of those was the Poke Heal. I really didn't know what I was doing, huh? I had some blue apricorns now, and I was able to make some quick balls. Started pounding away. I only had 15 I was making, so it didn't take long. But then I made more, and I spent basically the rest of the day doing this, making Pokeballs. And then I got off. Day 39, back in the server. I harvested my berries, and I made myself a diamond hammer. Open up some boat crate keys. I was just in the birch forest, just chilling, you know, exploring, when I saw a hidden loot, and whoa. What? I got a Master Ball. For my calculations, this is like a 0.001% chance to get out of all the things you can get from a hidden loot. That's insane. How lucky can I be? And I found a score bunny. Hell yeah. Oh my god, he's so small. I of course caught it in one quick ball because those things are OP. I'm telling you. Did more random TPs, found a Litten, and I found a Natu, which I caught because of the ability to synchronize. The ability to synchronize, whenever you encounter something, it'll have a 50% chance of having the exact same nature as the Pokemon was synchronized. You'll see why I want that soon. I found a Grookey in the trees, and I caught it. Found some more Natu, kept farming these guys. Master Ball loot gave me some choice specs. Yes. In a Dark Oak Forest, I found a really rare Pokemon, a Rotom. I didn't know it was that rare because I found it immediately, but it's really rare. It's like a 1% chance to spawn. Pretty dark and dreary, I couldn't really see much, but I found a Breloom, and before it suffocated in a wall, I battled it and I decided to catch it. Found a really cool area in the edge of the jungle. I marked it down as a possible spot for my new base because I really like this area. A lot of legendaries I wanted actually spawned in the jungle. Got more Natsu that night. And I found a Scyther, which since I killed the last one, I was really careful with this one. Well, I didn't have to be careful because I just threw one quick ball and got it. I went home and checked out all my Natsu. Got a really good one in Jolly. With my levels, I finally enchanted my Diamond Hammer, and I only got Unbreaking 3. But that's okay, because that's all I was really after. I looked into the Poke Hunt menu, and I saw a Dratini was a thing to hunt, and it gave you a lot of stuff. Since I wanted a Dratini anyways, I went off in search of an ocean. On the way there, I found a tower in the swamp. These are called Ghost Towers, and you can find plenty of bosses in here. Fought a few bosses, and I fought like a lot of Pokemon. I was put in a really tough situation whenever I had only 2 Pokemon left, Jerry and Houndoom. Lampent has an ability that doesn't let you hit by fire moves, so I wasn't able to hit it with anything because I only had fire and fighting type moves. So I pulled a big brainer and I used Odor Sleuth, which allowed me to use normal and fighting type moves against ghost type Pokemon. And I sent out Jerry and clutched it out. At the top I found the highest level of Mega Gengar boss possible. I whipped out Absol and tried to pull off my strat, but it was so fast and it just killed me. I had no chance. I got swept. Day 47, I went back and healed, and I tried to go back and see if I could find another boss like that, or if it would maybe have stayed. But of course it despawned. I continued searching for an ocean and I found it. I searched all day for a Dratini, and in the night I caught a Galarian Carsola. I used a Barraskewda I caught to ride it in the water and make it easier to find this thing, but it was still not spawned. It was really rare Pokemon and really hard even to find in a vast ocean like this. I realized it was probably a waste of time, so I went home and hammered out some Pokeballs. This Diamond Hammer was really fast, even without efficiency, which I didn't know efficiency worked back then, but it's actually pretty fast. After this, I got off for the day. When I got back on day 50, I noticed things were missing. All these new chests that I built on the left side were not claimed, and somebody came and stole a bunch of my stuff. A bunch of my TMs, like even Earthquake, which I found on the first day. Thankfully, some of my more valuables were safe because I claimed those, but all the ones on the left weren't claimed. I claimed everything and I checked it with a stick. Moving on to outside my Poke Center, there was a furry in my berry field. How dare she even think that she can step close to my berry field? I absolutely destroyed her. Killed her Pokemon so fast that it didn't even show up on the screen. They showed up for 1 second and were gone. Be gone, furry. I gave Skips the berries I needed to give him, and now I was ready to actually train him, finally. I went to the EV training area. I trained Skips in attack and HP because he's not very fast. He's actually like ridiculously slow because of his IVs and his nature. And I know it didn't say much about my stuff getting stolen, but at the time I was really big sad about this. Anyways, I went ahead and trained Sandile while I was here as well. Power items like the Power Anklet and Power Bracer, which I didn't have Power Bracer, but I did have Macho Brace. Those made it a lot easier and made it take way less time. Oh yeah, also I trained Scyther, I almost forgot. Day 53, I was done EV training, and I started to train my levels. I gave Speedy Lucky Egg, and I started leveling up because I wanted to learn Spore. And at level 62, he finally did. Now I can put things to sleep, and it would make them much easier to catch. This would be great for legendaries. And I did some switch training with Jerry, who is the most high level thing in my party. And finally, after over 50 days, Skips started to evolve into a Swampert. I got really spooked when I accidentally turned my narrator on.
Narrates all. Narrator narrates chat.
Yes, Sandile started to evolve into Krokorok. I don't know why she was so tiny, but look at that sassy thing. I decided to name her Sandy. This guy named Taddy was selling a legendary orb on the GTS for 9,000. I really wanted one of these, but I definitely couldn't afford it. After enough leveling, Sandy evolved again into Crocodile. Oh my god. Look at how big she was now compared to the last stage. I don't know what was wrong with Krokorok. Not too long later, Sandy learned Earthquake naturally. This made me feel a bit better about losing my Earthquake TM. I suggested in chat that Taddy lower his price of his orb to 6k, because that's basically all the money I had. He actually agreed. He put it up on GTS for 6,000, and I went to buy it, but it wasn't working. This guy who still plays in the server today, Terminator, he stole it as a joke, but he actually put it up on sale again, and I was able to buy it. I now had an orb, and I could spawn one of the legendary birds. Day 58, and I fought a Mega Gengar boss. It gave me a Gengar right. And this. I now had a Mega Ring, which would let me Mega Evolve any Pokemon I have the stone for. I equipped it as a necklace because I thought it looked way better on my skin. And yeah, it does. I went home and enchanted a new hammer, a crystal hammer, and I got the best enchantments possible on it. I got a replacement for my stolen diamond hammer. My game started freezing, so I turned off my shaders to see if that would help, and I went back into it and changed it again, and I made it worse.
Oh no. Oh no.
All I had to do was restart Minecraft though, so everything was fine. On day 60, a random Mega Ampharos boss spawned on my land. I was so hyped. Look at that Fabio Mans right there. Both Sandy and Earthquake did decent damage, but I ended up surviving on like 1 HP and I lost. But I tried again and I won. I beat the Ampharos and I obtained the stone for Mega Ampharos. My new hammer was basically as fast as my old hammer. Too bad I lost it. While I was offline, I did a bit of research and I found out you can make better running boots with this recipe. These boots felt super fast. Also, since Syra hit 200k, there was a sale and I bought a rank for like $7. I got a few things from that, mainly a Master Ball and some more claims. Also, Jerry's level 69. Nice. Another thing I learned how to make was an item finder. You saw me get a Master Ball from one before. This would be really useful to find hidden items while I'm exploring. I completed another Poke Hunt, which was pretty easy, just for Ekans, and ended off the night by picking berries. The next 2 days I caught a bunch of Marine, looking for one I would want to use myself. I honestly was never thinking about using an Ampharos, but since I got that Mega Stone, it really made me want to. I tried for a Poke Hunt for Mischievous, which would be right at the boss tower I found. So I went back to the boss tower, and when I broke this block, I saw there was a boss spawner. Okay, so that's how that works. Caught it, and my screen glitched out, and I didn't even get the hunt because it just ended the exact same time I caught it. Great. I got a really cool screenshot with Sandy in the rain. Check this out. With the money I got from that Ekans, I bought an Ice Stone. With this, I crafted my orb into an Orb of Frozen Souls. The way these orbs work is you make one for Articuno, Zapdos, or Moltres, then you have to kill 375 Pokemon to gather souls and fill it up. I entered in another tournament, and my team was decent. I mean, it was okay. I mean, I had a Celesteela and a Scorch, but let's just say it didn't go too well. GG. After that super quick loss, I went back to training and Teddy Ursa evolved. Yes, my boy. I had been training it to fill up my orb, and finally it evolved into an Ursaring. And honestly, I really like the way he looks shiny. Man, Limos appreciated my Ursaring, and I appreciated him more. He was now looking like the Teddy he was meant to be. Continued to fight these mons and train, while I filled up my orb. Picked out a Flappy from the PC, and that's the one I wanted to use on my team. But of course, on day 69, nice, this wall rain was my last victim, and my orb was full. I could now summon the legendary Articuno. Before I summoned this Articuno, I wanted to build a team dedicated to catching it, and this Abra was the key to it all. Its nature was modest and it had synchronized, so hopefully Articuno would be modest. I tested synchronize out by catching a few Pokemon. Every single one of them was modest, so I was confident I could get a modest Articuno. That would be amazing. I continued training on day 70 for the Articuno fight that was ahead of me. My Flaffy leveled up enough to evolve into an Ampharos. Looking at this majestic boy, I renamed him Beagle, after the best Ampharos. Link in the description. Jerry was level 74, and Sandy and Skips were over level 60 as well. Even Theo was level 60. I trained up until day 73 in preparation of the Articuno fight. The day to catch Articuno had come. The first thing I did was I had somebody help me evolve my Scyther into a Scizor. With this new steel typing, instead of it being weak to its ice beams, it would resist it. My now Scizor was going to play the most vital role in catching this thing. I watched my Scyther evolve into a beautiful, beautiful red rocket. So you guessed it, that's what I named him. And I named him Rocket. If you get it, good for you. If you don't, then you don't need to know. I went back home and I gave some of my Pokemon berries so that it could last longer defensively against the Articuno and tank while I tried to catch it. I wanted to feel completely confident, so with rare candies, I leveled Jerry up to level 80. You could tell he was ready. Then leveled up Rocket to level 74. He was the most important piece to this team. The rest of the rare candies I gave to Beagle, just so we could tank a little bit more and get his Thunder Wave up. While leveling up, I learned the move Light Screen, which would make Articuno's ice beams way less strong. Gathered almost all the Pokeballs I had, and I may be a little overprepared, but I don't care. I am catching this thing without a Master Ball. So here's the squad, and here's the plan. First, I would send out Abra. This would just be to make sure the Articuno has a chance to get the best nature possible. Next, Skips. Skips wasn't that high leveled, but I knew with how tanky Swampert is, it could tank some hits and survive long enough to at least help me catch the Articuno. Next was Beagle. Beagle's main job was to paralyze the Articuno. Then it would set up a light screen to make sure that the Articuno did as little damage as possible. This may sound weird, but Jerry was gonna be my tank. If I set up Calm Mind, resisting Articuno's ice beams, he would be perfectly fine and survive the longest out of anybody. Next was Theo, basically another tank. It may have been pretty low leveled, but I gave it the move Rest and I gave it a Chesto Berry so that it could wake up immediately and get another rest off if it needed to. Then, the most important Pokemon on the team, Rocket. The best thing about Rocket is it had False Swipe. I could use this to bring it down to 1 HP and guarantee I don't kill it. This would make it so much easier to catch. I teleported myself to where all the shrines are, for Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres. I was so nervous I was double and triple checking the inventory to make sure I was prepared. I had potions and even revives, just in case. I then announced in the chat that I was about to spawn in Articuno. They sent me good lucks, but I sat there for minutes without spawning the Articuno. I even looked up a guide on YouTube just to make sure I'm doing it right.
Find the correct shrine. Right-click on it with your charged orb, and the legendary bird will spawn.
With one last check of my inventory and my party, I placed the orb to spawn in the legendary Articuno. There it was, the Articuno, right across from my face, and I started to gather some spectators. I threw a quick ball at it just in case I got lucky and caught on the first ball, but of course, I didn't. Abra fainted, as planned. And next sent out Beagle. Notice how slowly I make every single move, just to make sure I don't mess something up. Oh, also, notice these guys trying to steal my Articuno? Yeah, don't do that, you'll get banned. Anyways, with Beagle I set up a light screen, but it kept using Ice Shard. Maybe it didn't have Ice Beam yet after all. I used Thunder Wave on the Articuno, which made it paralyzed. This would increase my chances of catching it by a lot once it's low health. I thought carefully about every single move, even if I knew what I wanted to do. I sent out Rocket so I could false swipe it down to 1 health. A few turns later, it was at 1 HP and paralyzed. I tried my luck at capturing it in Luxury Balls and GS Balls, which have the same catch rate as a regular Pokeball. I gave up on that. Since it had been so many turns, I started throwing Timer Balls. These would have the highest chance of capturing the Articuno. Rocket fainted, but I still had plenty of Pokemon left. I set up Cotton Guard with Beagle so that he could take as many Ice Shards as he wanted and not take much damage. This was a long battle, and I was determined to capture Articuno. I reached into my bag, and I threw another Timer Ball. Oh my god, I got it. Oh, I got it. I captured Articuno, and I didn't have to use a Master Ball. It didn't have the nature I wanted, but its IVs were really good, so I didn't mind. It was day 75 now, and I went home to get my Articuno out of the PC. Abra, you were useless, you didn't do your job, but that's okay, because now I have you. I pulled my newly caught Articuno out of the PC, and I sent it out to admire. It was quite small for a legendary bird, but that made it pretty adorable, so I didn't mind. Then it was time to test out its flying. This thing was insanely fast. I mean, I could not control it at all. I'm sorry to say, but Mango is definitely getting replaced. Then Articuno decided to drop me out of the sky. Thanks. I renamed the Articuno Aria, and I trained it in its special attack and speed. This really just took no time at all with power items. After my most monumental day in these 100 days, I got off the server, and really looked forward to playing the next day. I was back on the server day 76, and I tried to win one of my many Mareeps, and I got a shiny Mudkip.
Whoa. Oh,
there was
what?
one shiny in the pool
No
of
way.
Wonder Trade
No
mods,
way.
and I got it. I made myself an ender chest so I'd have more space, because I was going on a trip to find Shuckle. I put the Mudkip up for sale for 3.4k, which I thought was pretty expensive, and yeah, it was too expensive. Nobody ever bought it. I went to the movie learner to give Aria more than just Ice Shard, and I TP'd to a guy with a Master Ball loot. The Master Ball loot gave me an Earthquake, to make up for that one I lost from day 1. Earthquake, I got it back. For the rest of the night, I just wandered around that area, and caught a Dewbiter. Day 77, I was using my item finder in the woods to see if I could find some hidden items. In the woods, it works especially well, but there are trees kind of blocking the way sometimes. I got a full heal. My item finder led me to a ghost tower, and was forced into many battles with ghost Pokemon. Well, also, I somehow forgot that Haunter had Levitate. Nice job, me. In the woods, a Grottle attacked me. Oh my god. The Terror is one of my favorite Pokemon, so I sent out Rocket to get its 1 HP and catch it. I finally equipped my Mega Stone to Beagle, and I was ready to see him Mega Evolve. And I performed my first Mega Evolution. Right as Beagle Mega Evolved, a thunderstorm started. The timing was literally perfect, and listen to the thunderstorm he caused. It didn't actually cause it, but it was just good timing. I continued exploring, and a really high level of Powdon attacked me. It lived to move from Skip, so I caught it instead of killing it. I was originally planning on looking for Shuckle so that I could move, and instead, while I was out, I found this.
Oh, there's one.
It was a gym! I got a little closer, and I was close enough to see the opponents I would be facing in the gym. My greatest enemies, the furries. This is gonna be a tough one, boys, but don't worry, I'll exterminate them. Here we go. I began my gym challenge by facing the first trainer. It was an Ice-type gym, and they were equal to my highest level Pokemon. So Jerry was gonna have to carry me through this. But since he's fire and fighting type, he wouldn't have a problem carrying in this gym at all. Take that, furry. Second furry had a bunch of Abomasnow, which Jared could easily one-shot, but since he was on like half health, ended up dying to recoil. Sandy definitely cleaned up though, and won me the battle. I was on my way back to the Poke Center, and I found this really fat cat. Like this thing thick.
Damn, boy, he's thick, boy. That's a thick ass boy.
I sent out Sandy, and I just admired the thickness for a while. We just kind of stared until we caught it. I took her out of PC and named her Fat Cat. The next day, I continued to steal blocks from these furries. When I had stolen every block, I made my way up to the gym leader himself. Oh no, okay. Oh, what? I didn't know Dynamax was in this. First of all, I didn't know Dynamax was even in Pixelmon, so this surprised me. But it seemed like he had no moves to touch skips, and afterwards Dynamax was over, he sent out Cloakster, which I took care of easily. He then sent out Mamswine to finish off skips. And this is the moment I realized Skip's a girl. Oops. Anyways, I sent out Jerry next to clean up his gym. I knew he could carry his complete victory. I close combated the Mamswine, and it had a focus sash on that let it survive on 1 HP. I just sent out Aria to finish it off with Ancient Power. And he sent out Weavile, which took half health from that, so I was able to feint it the next turn. But it flinched me and was able to get another shot off and kill me. I then sent out Rocket to guarantee the kill on Weavile with a Bullet Punch. He had another Mamoswine, and I assumed this one didn't have a Focus Sash because that would make no sense, so I set up a Sword Dance on it, but it did insane damage to Rocket. Healed up hopes that maybe the Mamoswine would make a dumb move, and it did. Next was his Walrein, which couldn't do anything much wrong before. I killed it with Nexus. At this point, the battle was over. All his Pokemon were 1 HP, and the last Pokemon he sent out made me laugh. And there it was, I beat the Ice Gym Leader. It may have not been a real player, but if we do 200 days, I will fight and beat every single player run gym, if they're out by then at least. After this great victory, I returned home day 80, and I killed the Ponyta for its leather. And used the leather to make an item for him and hang up my badge. I was really shocked that I went 80 whole days without a proper home. It was time to move out. I needed to find a location and get some shulker shells to move my stuff out. But before that, of course I got distracted and went to the boss tower. But I'm glad I did, because the first thing I beat gave me experience share. Are you serious? That's crazy. Day 81, I stayed distracted and kept fighting more bosses. Then I found out you can warp to the end in this. I honestly thought that the end didn't exist in Pixelmon, but hey, the way I found out was a Deoxys has spawned. That's a legendary that only spawns in the end, and somebody told me that you can do /warp the end. I looked for it for a while, but never found it. Day 82, I had too many useless items in my storage, so I took all the Pokemon things I thought would sell for money, and I sold them all. At the end of this, I had about $6,000. Not bad. Day 82, I was browsing the GTS when I saw rare candies up for sale for a ridiculous amount. 16 for 7,000 and 2 for 1,500. Really? I sold 10 rare candies for a more reasonable price, 1,800, which actually is way too cheap, but it sold immediately. It was more of an experiment than anything. So I put 10 more up for the more reasonable price of 3,400. Okay, look. I'm not addicted, but I spent day 83 in the boss tower and I collected a bunch of loot. I wasn't recording when this first happened, but I turned on my recording and I found a shiny Roly-Coly in the Extreme Hills. In about 80 days, I got 2 shinies. That's just to show you how rare they are. I threw a quick ball at it and caught it. God. Roly-Coly's a really good shiny too. Right next to it was the biggest Mudsdale of all time. It was ridiculously big. I mean, just look at this thing. And I caught this ginormous Mudsdale. Just look at how big he is. I tried to ride him, and he was so big, he glitched out. I just couldn't ride him. I renamed the Mudsdale Ganondale based on Ganon's horse from Legend of Zelda. Now, a giant horse and a shiny rock are really cool, But the goal today was to find Shuckle. Once again, these guys drop shulker shells, and if I wanted to move out, I would need shulker shells to hold my items and get them over to the new base. They only spawn underground, so that's where I went. Even though they're kind of rare, I found my first one relatively quick. When I killed it though, I didn't get a shulker shell. This was gonna be a pain. My diamond pickaxe was on his last legs, so I went home and made myself one out of thunderstone. When you use the different evolution stones to make armor, they give you really good effects if you get the full set, but the pickaxe actually doesn't do anything. I enchanted it with efficiency and fortune, but of course I never get unbreaking. I never do. So I made an anvil and I gave it unbreaking myself. Such a special pickaxe, of course, needed a special name, and yeah, I think that fits. You should listen to the pickaxe. I went back into the mine to find more Shuckle, and while I was at it, I found a bunch of diamonds, so I'd say that's worth it. And you guys won't believe what happened next. A guy put up the N-word pass on GTS for 1K. Okay, look, I thought that was hilarious, and I was gonna buy it for content, but I didn't buy it because I don't have the money for that. I wasn't having luck with Shuckle, so I went out and did a random TP. I found myself in Lowland Sandshrew. It's another variant of Sandshrew that you can only find in like snowy areas. Of course, I sent out Rocket to false swipe it and I caught it. One day I would have a full collection of Sandshrew. At the end of day 87, someone said in chat they were buying Porygon parts for a Master Ball. So I got to work at making some PCs. I made another diamond hammer to replace my old one. And the enchantments I got on it were godly. Finally, efficiency and unbreaking. I finally did it, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, look at how fast this was compared to before. And these are aluminum plates. They hammer out at like half the speed of Pokeball stuff. I only had enough to make 5, but I ended up getting 2 Porygon bodies from it, so that's all I needed. I sold him the 2 parts he was looking for, and he logged out. But then he got right back on and gave me a Master Ball. That was the easiest Master Ball of my life. In the snowy biome, I found some really nice houses. Shout out to whoever you are. Went inside and looked around a bit, and I liked the way they had their apricorns wrapping around their house. I wasn't trying to steal anything, I was just looking in their chests because I wanted to see what they had, but hey, but good on them, they were smart, and they locked their stuff, unlike me. Yo, whoever this is, nice house, man. This is Smexy. You should come build near me sometime. At night, I browsed GTS, and I found a good rod for like 500, and I bought it. This could be used to fish up items and Pokemon. My rare candy business was going pretty well, so I put up some more for even higher price. And in the chat, I advertised my brand, of course, to make more sales. I mean, if they kept selling like this, I could make crazy money. I was looking for a jungle M to make my base in, and this guy named Blind offered me to teleport to one. Unfortunately, it was his, but look at this place. He really cleared this place out. I even told him in chat, but it was so big I couldn't even tell that this was just a platform above the trees. I'd never seen somebody make some kind of farm like this before. I mean, Pokemon were everywhere. On this platform, there was a really big Vicable, and I liked it, so I caught it. Then I have nowhere a Trico attacked me. Sent out Rocket, and I caught that. I went fishing the rest of the night and just kind of chilled. There were so few days left, and I needed to find my own jungle so I could make my own base. I gave up on the Shuckle idea because it just would not spawn anywhere. Oh, and I fished up an efficiency 5 book. That's pretty good. On day 90, I found out the server had a safari zone. Like seriously, how many features were there to this server? I walked around and fished for a little bit. This place seemed kind of barren. It didn't seem like it had any Pokemon in it, like it should. Honestly, I was just wasting my time doing this. I only had 10 days left at this point. I had to go. From a random loot on the ground, I found an upgrade, which is an item used to evolve Porygon. It's really not that rare, but I thought it was. Day 91, while I was riding my Articuno, I saw a glowing orb of light below me. I knew what this was from somebody else's video. It wasn't showing up properly because of my shaders, but this was an ultra wormhole, which sent you to the ultra space dimension. Whenever I was below it, it would disappear, so I went to my settings and tried to turn my shaders off. And it crashed my game. Great. I logged back on, and of course, the ultra wormhole had disappeared. Big sad. I got back on the server day 92, and my rare candy and orb business was going great. From the sales, I had 15,000 Pokédollars at this point. I found yet another feature I didn't know about the server. A battle tower. They have a battle tower, and they had some pretty good items up for sale, especially near the bottom. I selected my team of 3 to go fight the battle tower, and we're off to a great start already. Grass type versus my Swampert. Right away, I switched out to Infernape. Took it out in one Flare Blitz, and out came a Porygon Z. Unfortunately, it was able to outspeed and kill Jerry. I sent out Scizor and started setting up on it, since I knew it couldn't two-shot me. But then he sent out a Heatran, a Legendary, and a Fire and Steel type, which Rocky could do nothing to. Switched back out to Skips, and still took quite a lot of damage from it. Switched back out into Porygon Z to survive the hit, and with the Tri-Attack and the lasting effect of Magma Storm, it killed me. In the end, it was a 1v1 between a Heatran and Rocket, and Rocket got one shot, of course. And my cheeks might have gotten clapped, but if we do 200 days, I will beat the battle tower. I found a jungle, and I searched for the specific biome I was after. Kept searching until nighttime, and that's when I found it. I found the Jungle M biome. You need specifically a Jungle M because that's the only place that Mew spawns. I made a tower to claim my territory, and I celebrated. I went back home and it was raining. A fitting mood for this type of day. I said goodbye to the good old Poke Center. From the wall of vending machines I gathered from adventures. Seriously, just kind of impressive. It's my very first apricorn farm ever. With all the pillars and holes that were left over from that thunderous I encountered 80 days ago. There were only 8 days left and I had no time to waste. I got off the server so that I could plan out my next 8 days, to finish out my first 100 days of Pixelmon. Day 92, I got back on the server with the knowledge that Shuckle didn't only spawn on the ground. It spawns on stone beaches. I can't believe that I spent so much time in a cave when I could have just literally found one this easily. I killed it, and I got my first Shulker Shell. Continued gathering more until I had about 5. It was so much easier than I thought it was. When I went home, I was able to buy a Venusaur Mega Stone. It was only up for sale for 1.5k. That's so cheap. I returned to the jungle, and for the next few days, I was just gonna be basically marking out where the border of the Jungle M biome is specifically. And also chopping down trees, of course. This would give me a good idea of where my base should be built. Somebody was asking for someone to sell him a Master Ball in chat, and I had 4, so I sold him one for 10,000 Poké Dollars. It was a good deal for me and him, because this gave me a lot of money, and now I was sitting at 31,000 Poké Dollars. I'm starting to feel like a very rich man. Right after that, somebody put up for sale a Master Ball for 8.5k, so I literally just made free money. I hesitated a little bit, but I bought it, because I knew I could sell it for at least like 11k. The next few days, I spent literally just marking out the territory for my Jungle M. This was very tedious and took a long time. By day 95 though, I was more than halfway finished. My Jungle M was a pretty good size as well. Finally, on day 97, it was complete. I could build anywhere within here to get a Mew spawn. At the beginning of day 98, someone sold a Ditto for only 3,000 Poké Dollars. The only way to get a Ditto is to clone a Mew and then have it fail. As far as I knew, at least. If I do 200 days, this will help me a lot in breeding. I did a quick random teleport like I do all the time, and I found this structure, which is meant for, I think, spawning RCs. It had a bunch of Pixelmon exclusive blocks, which I didn't know how to craft, so I gathered a few to use on my base. I bought about 20 rare candies off somebody for 5.5k, so I knew I could sell it off for more. Then I bought even more from this guy named Twilly. He gave me like half a stack for 3.3k. This is gonna make a lot of money off of. I also delivered some ranch blocks, which I made really easily. I already had the materials required, and he gave me a whole stack of rare candies in exchange. Now this is what I call profit, boys. This breeding platform made me think of how ready I was to start breeding. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to do that until 200 days. I went back home to store my rare candies, but I was completely stacked on them. Like, I really had some stomps. In between day 100 and whenever I start filming 200 days, I'm gonna be getting on and selling as many as I can. With only about a day and a half left, I had no time to waste at all. I needed to stop procrastinating and finally make myself a base. Since I only had like a day to build this, it wasn't gonna be extravagant and amazing and marvelous, but if this video gets enough support, I want to have an awesome base for 200 days, so watch out for that. I had my little nature hole in the ground and I covered it with glass on top. It was day 100, and I didn't have anything insanely cool planned for the last day, but I just continued working on my base and finished at least the main entrance. Crafted a few stairs and added some detail, and I went back to the good old Poke Center just to get my things and store them at the new base. I had a lot of stuff to move, but with shulker boxes this wouldn't take too long. When trying to get back to my good old Poke Center, I accidentally teleported back to this. I don't think I was supposed to see this.
It was at this moment that he knew he f***ed up.
It was completed. My Poke Center was cleared out, and it was time to say goodbye. On screen right now are the coordinates to my old base, my old Poke Center. At the end of my 200 days, I'll come back here and see what everybody's done. I want you few who made it to the end to impress me, okay? I named it, of course, good old Poke Center. And that was it. That was the end of my 100 days. It felt like it went by so quick, and I didn't get to do as much as I wanted, but I mean, I guess I overestimated how much you can do in 100 days. Thank you for the people who got all the way to the end, and I just want to say I really appreciate you. This video took so long, way longer than I even thought myself, and with great confidence, I can say this is the best Pokemon game I have ever played. No, I'm serious. Out of all the games I've played since Blue version, this is the best Pokemon game experience I've ever had, and I'm so glad I made a video on it for memories. I sent out my whole squad. If this video gets 200 likes, I will do 200 days. I know that's a huge goal for a channel like mine, or well, as small as mine, but I know you can do it. If we actually do 200 days, I'll be able to do things like breeding, exploring Ultra Space, work more on the base and do more building, and hopefully I can battle player-run gyms by then. Or maybe even I could become a gym leader myself. We'll see. Remember to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you want to see more and if you liked it, of course. Go join my Discord if you'd like to keep up with everything, and if you want to follow me on Twitch, I stream on there basically weekly, except for this week because I've been working on this video. Haven't streamed for a while, but usually I'll stream like weekly, so go follow that. I also made a second channel just for Pokemon because on this channel, it's more like anything I want to do. So I think Pokemon doesn't really fit on a channel like that unless you're Alpha Rat or something like that. I left this to announce at the end of the video because I knew the people who stayed till the end would actually go and subscribe to it. It's gonna be much easier to upload videos to that channel since a lot of the videos I would want to make on there would only take like 10% of the time it takes to make a video that I upload to this channel. So yeah, let's get 200 likes on the video so I can do 200 days. Hopefully I'll see you again in 200 days. Have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for watching this long journey in my Buddhas.